Breaking news. They're alive. The Challenger space shuttle crew safe and employed. The members of the 1986 space shuttle Challenger still alive some 30 years later. The space shuttle Challenger explodes shortly after lifting off from Kennedy Space Center in this January 28, 1986 photo. All 7 crew members died in the explosion, which was blamed on faulty O-rings in the shuttle's booster rockets. The disaster shattered NASA's image and the belief that flying on a spacecraft could become as routine as flying on an airplane. Most of us watching this live on television that day were devastated by this accident. The accident happened 73 seconds into the flight when it broke apart. 17% of Americans were witnessing the launch live because of the presence of payload specialist Christa McAuliffe, who would have been the first teacher in space. Some experts believe most, if not all, of the crew were alive and possibly conscious during the entire descent until impact with the ocean. The remains of all 7 astronauts from the Challenger disaster were discovered in the crew decks on the ocean floor. Gregory Jarvis's remains were discovered in the lower mid-deck along with fellow astronaut Ronald McNair and schoolteacher Christa McAuliffe. And during the salvage operations to raise the crew deck from the ocean floor, Jarvis's body escaped from the wreckage, floating to the surface, and disappeared back into the sea. On April 15, 1986, on the last scheduled attempt to recover wreckage, Jarvis's body was rediscovered and returned to shore. Quote, "Let me now take you through the latest findings concerning the Challenger crew, which supposedly perished back in 1986. We have seen the 2 female NASA martyrs appear to still be alive and well, Miss Judith Resnick and Sharon Christa McAuliffe, both enjoying successful law university positions and careers, while astonishingly enough still using pretty much their own names, that is, the names and surnames with which they briefly became international celebrities as the NASA martyrs of the Challenger disaster. The disaster resulted in a 32-month hiatus in NASA's shuttle program and the formation of the Rogers Commission, and that was a special commission by President Ronald Reagan to investigate the Challenger accident. The commission found NASA's organizational culture and decision-making process had been key contributing factors to the accident. The names of the Challenger 7 crew members are Francis Richard Scobie, Commander; Michael J. Smith, Pilot; Ronald McNair, Mission Specialist; Ellison Onizuka, Mission Specialist; Judith Resnick, Mission Specialist; Gregory Jarvis, Payload Specialist; Christa McAuliffe, Payload Specialist. But what if all these crew members are still alive and thriving in their new professions? That would be contrary to what the whole world has been told. There's claims that 6 of the 7 Challenger crew members are still alive, and that some even keep their names. For example, Richard Scobie is the CEO of Chicago's marketing advertisement company called Cows and Trees, and he bears a striking resemblance to Richard Scobie, 30 years younger. People may say that this is really extreme, but Simon Shank points out that it may be entirely coincidental that Syracuse law professor Sharon is a cousin of Terry McAuliffe's, the current governor of Virginia, who's co-chairman of President Bill Clinton's 1996 re-election campaign, chairman of Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign. Terry McAuliffe is an advocate of gun control and is very much concerned about NASA's funding issues. So we ask ourselves, it's one thing that Challenger crew members resemble someone alive today. We call that coincidence, but it's another thing when all 6 members of the Challenger crew have doppelgangers who are alive and in some cases with the exact same names of the original Challenger crew members. Richard Scobie, Michael J. Smith, Judith Resnick, Sharon McAuliffe. And what are the chances of that? The odds defy statistical probability. I'll leave links below for you for these articles.